Hello, everybody. As usual, my hair's a mess, so bear with me. I just woke up a little bit ago. I just watched the latest video live stream from Colin and Peyton. Hey, guys, what's up? Love my spooky fam. And, I'm right there with you guys. I believe that if more of us did care, more of us can make a difference. And more should care. The reason why I decided to title this live stream Moonville Tunnel is there's not going to be any footage yet of Moonville Tunnel because I'm not going to be going to Ravenwood Castle until the end of May, which is a few weeks away yet. But I hope that I can do the live stream thing with you guys this Friday. I do have some ghost stories of my own. I have to take that time the next few days to think about them. So, I can think of like, oh yeah, this is a good one. I remember this one. But, even just a brief, not history, but occasions and experiences that I've had right here in this very apartment. I'm not kidding. And I've been here, me and Chris have been here 12 years. So, there's a closet off to my left over here that is... if you open the door and you look up, there's one of those little like square things. You can like push it up and open it, and you can pop your head up in there, but you have to stand on a chair to do that because it's pretty high up there. And I think Chris did it like once years ago, and at the time there was really nothing up there. I was too afraid to do it myself, but it is well known, and I mean I've seen enough paranormal videos and stuff, other people that have done it, that, attics and basements. What the heck is it with attics and basements that ghosts are so obsessed with? I guess. But there's a spirit that I would feel. It was never anything threatening or anything like that at all when I would open this door. And I'm like, okay, I've got a spirit in the closet. Oh, yay. But there's also been other times when I'd be like getting into the fridge, and as soon as I opened the door, literally as soon as I opened the door to the fridge, I would feel this extremely strong male presence behind me. But I never felt threatened or, it wasn't scary. It was just very, like intense and very strong. I was like, hello. Sometimes me and Chris have been sitting here and we would hear footsteps. It literally sounds like footsteps above us. And there's no stairs to go up there. The only way up is through one of those little compartments like I just described. But, the whole, my husband just, I've said this on my last video, but it's important and I want to get it out there to people, especially new YouTubers that maybe they don't know this themselves. And I think to have it researched before I just, kind of started doing it. Copyright infringement, copyright violation. I was reading from a book, a couple of them, and I was just in the sincerity of trying to help. Those of us that, maybe don't have $20 to go out and spend on a book, that maybe would be a very helpful book for us. And if you look at my videos, that's called The Magical Retreat. I think I got up to chapter 6. I don't think I did 7. But I was getting ready to do a live stream, and my husband told me, he said, you realize by reading out of that book, you're using someone else's material. I said, yeah, and he said, that's copyright violation. And he explained it to me what he meant by that. And I was like, oh, crap, so I'll just say again, sorry, YouTube, I didn't know. I should have researched it, so I was in the wrong for not researching it, but I won't, do anything more like that. I will just literally share my own experiences. The live streaming is going to be difficult for me no matter what, because I only have my laptop here. And it's not a tiny one, it's a standard size. It's like, say it's about yay wide, and, so you don't exactly want the bulkiness of carrying that around without like some kind of tray or something and shoulder straps to hold it in place. Like I've seen you guys do the Orpheum Theater, I think was one of them, with a little stick figure thing that you can see stick figures appear, and then you can see like the person, and then you can see the other figures, and that, okay, that's the spirit. But it looked like you guys, I don't know if you had it like fastened around the waist or whatever, but it looked to me like it was some type of a stand or something, and it, gave it a lot of stability and everything. Well, I don't have that, and I certainly don't have any money. I know about the whole, what it's like to be broke, because, I'm on a fixed income, so I don't get a whole lot. It seems like a lot, but it really isn't when you figure in, by the time I pay my rent and bills, which are, my husband pays the majority of the bills, but by the time I get my half paid, I'm lucky to have $200. How do you live on $200 a month, guys? How do you do it? I don't know. I still have not figured that out. But anyway, ghost stories. I'll try to just focus on, maybe a few, and then save any others that I remember and think about that's happened before in other locations, other places I've lived. Like, let's see, I know there was this one street that I used to live on. It was called 87 South Hartford, and that was how I knew it. The street is still there, but the entire street, I mean, literally from Broad all the way down to Town Street, where the street dead ends, and then over here you got buildings and stuff, and then you got Town Street. So from Broad all the way down to Town, it's the whole right side of it, and I think the left side too, is just nothing but parking lot. And there used to be houses there, guys. I lived there back in the 80s with my family. And it was the last time all of us lived together, as in my sister, my brother, my mom, and myself. So that was like 1, 2, 3, about 4 of us, roughly. But we lived right across from Mount Carmel West, if any of you are familiar with this area. I am so jealous you guys got to go to England. Not really. I'd love to go there, but I don't even have a passport. So, I kind of got to get something like that first. But, yeah, it's, I'm glad that you guys came up with the idea of the Friday Frights thing. So it's like, if we can't meet in person, because, let's face it, our lives are hectic, I'm not doing it to the degree that you guys are right now, but I hope to. I have no clue when I'm going to have any kind of money to get a gimbal, or to get the RAM pod, the puck, the EMF meters, the spirit box, and those kind of things. Usually spirits, I can feel them. Yeah, that's a given, that most times people will feel them, but I can also see them, but not with the naked eye. It's more in here. It's from the third eye. So it's kind of like a form of visualization, I guess you could say. But I call it feeling them. But I can't look up and go, oh, hi, and I haven't seen apparitions much, but I've had a few, that can be scary. Moonville Tunnel, when I go investigate it, this one, I'm going to be alone. And, I've been playing around with, okay, do I want to be brave and courageous like Colin and Peyton and all of you guys and try to go down and investigate it myself? Yeah. At night, no. I don't think I'm quite that brave yet. But, I don't want people being able to creep up on me and I not see them or hear them, or, and then it's too late. And then I get attacked or something, might not survive it. People have been killed in that tunnel. I read the history on it. I was looking around on Ravenwood Castle website the other day, and I read the history of the Moonville Tunnel. I know that other paranormal investigators, I guess, have gone there. My husband he's a bit of a skeptic in that sense, that he's like, oh, BS, there isn't nothing there, blah, blah, blah. And, people said that they heard this, or that okay, well, whatever, but, I still want to go. I want to go because it's a beautiful place. I saw the picture of the tunnel and the little road that goes through it, and you can see to the other end of the tunnel. So it's not that long or anything. But I'm thinking of possibly just doing a daytime investigation for safety. Safety first, right? Absolutely. And the fact that I'm going to be alone, I will have my pepper spray with me. I will have a walking stick that has a compass in the tip of it. Maybe I'll get it and show it to you guys here in a minute or something. But anyway, I will have something I can use as a weapon. I will have at least 2 things I can use as a weapon. I don't carry firearms or anything like that, but at some point I may, just for protection, literally, guys. You don't know the bad area that we live in. You don't know what it's like. And I'm glad that you guys live in, I'm sure, far better, region and area in Austin. But when I do the live stream is going to be difficult for me because I can do it the best on my laptop. But I don't want to be carrying my laptop down a path and into the tunnel, and that's the only way I can live stream. So it may end up being I might have to use my tablet to do it, and hopefully there is a way to take the footage from my tablet and put it on here on YouTube. But I'll need my husband's help to do that because he's the computer tech, not me. I would like to have the knowledge that he has, certainly, and the level of skill. He is of such a high level, I guess, that, and this is not meant to be disrespectful to anybody in any way, shape, or form, but he is such a high level of understanding, he can't come down, and like, he wouldn't be able to teach somebody. It's just, he can't go backwards. He can't, he just keeps going forward, and he keeps excelling, ascending, and I would love to be that good. But Moonville Tunnel is, it'll be my first actual paranormal investigation, and the weather will be nicer. And I was going to go at the end of April, but it was just too cold, and I didn't, I don't like the cold. I love the beauty of winter, the snow, and the landscapes, the way they're turned into white, and it's just so absolutely beautiful. It looks like diamonds, sparkling on the snow. But I don't like the dangers. I don't like the extreme cold temperatures. People that freeze to death. Have frozen to death. There was an instance that happened years ago. Excuse me, where my mom is living right now. There was a kindly gentleman that lived next door to them, and oh goodness, stomach acid. I haven't eaten anything yet, and I need to eat something because my stomach's already rebelling, and somehow I got a hair in my mouth. Probably my own, because I'm always shedding like a cat or a dog. But this guy, he was an older gentleman. He was an elderly. I think his name was, I don't know if it was, I want to say Mr. Smith or Mr. Ross. I don't know. But he was a decent old guy, and I don't remember if he was living there alone or if he actually had a wife. But the way that I understand the story, he had, what was it? Was it Alzheimer's or some kind of serious condition that he ended up freezing to death literally in his front yard. And so there's ghost right there. There's a possible ghost right there. I've never been over at my mom's that time of night, usually, and because the neighborhood is so active, I don't know like if it's any less active at night. But there's going to be people sitting out. There's going to be where my mom lives. It's an old army base. Years ago, it was the kind of place that you would take your family to live. They're literally houses. They're my mom calls them cookie cutter houses or whatever because they're all uniform. The majority of them are the same. The door's always in the middle of the building. Some of them it's kind of offset a little to one side or another, but a lot of them it's literally dead smack in the middle. I would love to see an aerial view of it. And there's a field off of Broad Street in that area that literally used to be, I guess, some kind of a landing strip, and you see this small section of field and your mind goes, ow. But you got to think this was, gosh, however far back. It could have been as far as the 60s, or I don't know. I wasn't born until 69, so. But anyway, there's that old gentleman. That's a horrible, horrible way to die. I know how scared I was when I was living in Marysville, which I ended up calling my HE double toothpicks because it ended up being more sad times there than good. I got, really badly hurt there by somebody, emotionally, spiritually. My second husband, I lived there shortly for a couple of years with him, and we have one daughter, between us. We only have one child. My other three boys, as you know, if you've seen any of my other videos, are all four of my kids have different fathers. And that has not been easy for me to deal with because I don't want people thinking, oh, well, you're just some kind of little slut, aren't you? Well, you know what? Forget you, go away. I am not that way at all. But I should have been more sensible. I should have been more responsible. I should have made them wear protection, especially with STDs and stuff. You never know who's got them. And I mean, it's not like they're going to come out and go, hey, by the way, I've got, gonorrhea, or I've got some other kind of horrible STD or whatever. And want to screw? No, rather not. But, it's not been easy for me. Certainly I have struggled as a mother. I'm not the disciplinarian. I am too gentle. I'm too passive. And so I did not discipline my children, because I was more afraid of like hurting them. I was more afraid because, there is a lot of inborn rage in my family, in different family members. It's some kind of weird genetic trait. Maybe it's the German, Irish, and Dutch mix. I don't know. But it's not a fun existence. I have often thought of doing some anger management just to get better handle on it. Like, I mean, when I have seen myself really, really angry and just really, really outraged about something or enraged about something, I scared myself. So, being a Capricorn, for me, I tend to stuff things down inside of me, and I don't deal with them, and I just let them sit there, and it causes trouble for, my whole life. And I want to release those things. I want to let them go. And I know I have said that on other videos. I don't mean to ramble so quickly or anything, but I'm trying to figure out how to do this live stream without giving too much away. Just a couple of ghost stories here and there, and then I'll save some for Friday. As far as the history, of this place, I don't know much. I know bits and pieces here and there. Like, I don't know any of the history of Fort Hayes over on Cleveland Avenue, which I could get in my car and go drive to right now if I wanted. But it's all boarded up. All the buildings are boarded up. The buildings are still standing. And usually when I'm going by, it's just, I'm driving. I mean, it's not like we're doing 55 down the street, but you go by slow, but still it's hard to really take in and see the buildings individually, as opposed to getting out of the car, parking somewhere, getting out of the car, and then walking over and checking it out. But Cleveland Avenue is a bad area. It's kind of like, our version of, in my opinion, like a slab city kind of place. A lot of drug dealers there. A lot of bad types that would just be, they don't care who they hurt because they're out of their minds, because they're stoned on drugs or whatever. But so now I have to rethink everything. I have to think of ways to add my own material so that I'm not doing the copyright violation, because I don't believe in that either. I certainly don't want to, I was never taking credit for any of the stuff I read on here from the books that I read. I was just sincerely trying to help. Like when I did the Beltane ritual, that was out of one of my own personal books, but it was still one of someone else's material. Still copyright violation. So, and the editing, all I can say is, and you guys will get a kick out of this if you ever see this video, Colin, help! I cannot edit. I haven't even tried. It is a good practice, because there may be instances where, you absolutely have to take certain sections out of a live stream, because it's like you're exposing somebody in a negative way that don't deserve that, or you're showing someone on camera accidentally and they don't want to be shown on camera, their face, their identity and stuff. So I could really use some help with editing and everything, and I don't know what to do there. My husband can't teach me, because he said it's too complicated, it's too difficult to explain and try. He said, I can give you the basics, but, I just haven't, I don't know when that'll ever happen. I don't know when we'll get around to it or anything, but he's downtown today taking care of some business down there. And he's rode his bike. I'm really proud of him. Peyton and Colin and all of my spooky fam, those of us that are the nature lovers. Yes, I absolutely love being out in nature, and we, me and my husband go to parks, off and on, when the weather's real nice and if we don't have anything to do, and, my husband's breathing's better, and, because he does have COPD, so that's pretty bad. Like if it's too humid, he can't breathe. If it's, even extreme cold temperatures sometimes can take his breath away. There's different, temperature fluctuations and whatnot. I have to be careful about spraying any like heavy aerosol related scented things around him, because it throws him into an asthma attack. So it's really hard for me to wear like, a lot of perfume or anything like that. And it kind of sucks because I have some that I really like, but I don't want to wear it around him and then it throws him into an asthma attack. But anyway, trying to think. I'm trying to formulate my words. I hope, that by some miracle, if I can figure out some way to gain some financial independence and get some extra income coming in, I would love to be able to travel a little bit and, maybe get lucky and be able to come to a fan meetup somewhere and actually physically meet you guys. But yeah, I'll take the online, and I love you all as much as you love all of us. That what you do and your passion with your channel, and I'm the same way, and so I want to do good with it. I want to do things to help people as well. I have lived in some shady situations. I have hung out with crackheads. I was one for 9 months, like many years ago, but I was one of the lucky ones, guys. I was strong enough, strong-willed enough, and strong-minded enough and spiritual and that whole thing that I walked away. And it has taken so many lives. And look at the drugs the new ones that people are coming up with, the new mixes, crystal meth and all these different things. And you want to take it and get high and then it kills you. So was it worth it? No, not really. But shady characters, shady situations, shady locations, sketchy stuff. I used to live next door. I'm talking too fast. To a black witch, meaning she was dark as dark could be. And I will not give her name on here because she really hurt me. She was another one of those wayward friends. She was never truly my friend. And I'm pretty sure she did controlling magic on me, which I have since tried to undo, and I guess I'm okay. But I have also felt like a lot of this weight that I have gained is a spell that she did on me, because she told me, she was very heavy set. She was real tall, but she was very heavy set, and she's an Aries. And Aries temperament can be very, very fiery and very, very violent. She was certainly violent when she wanted to be, and she was just downright scary. But I tried to overlook that. I tried to see the good in her. She was an epileptic. She would have seizures. There was many times that I literally saw her go into a full-blown seizure right on my living